Okay, we are live. Thank you everyone for joining us for this week's medical sales live stream. Today we have on a repeat guest, Marcia Fontanev from Expansion Medical. And Marcia is going to tell us all things equipment. And we've seen a lot of uptick here recently. Usually it happens this time of year. I'm sure you would probably agree with that, Marcia. Q4 is the absolute best time to be selling medical equipment because of the tax incentives for writing off the depreciation. And also a lot of people are just planning for the next year and seeing what sort of profit centers, billing codes that they can capture that they're not currently capturing, or this is also a good time to upgrade equipment that maybe has outlived its usefulness, so to speak. And there's, especially in the diagnostic side, a lot of this equipment, if they purchase things like ultrasound or C-arms, 5, 10 years ago, the technology that's out there now is far superior. So we see a lot of people doing upgrades as well. So with that, Marcia, you are the equipment expert. I want you to lay it all on the line for us. What kind of opportunities are out there right now? What should people be looking for?
Well, happy Monday, everybody. And Mike is right. It's a perfect time to be selling equipment. There's a lot of activity. And my background is medical, also for like 38 years with biotech. And now I've had my own company for equipment for 12. I just merged. Expansion Medical will still be a separate entity, but we merged all of our products with Image Pro out of Michigan, and they're pretty big. And Image Pro has the distribution rights nationwide. So all distributors are under them for ScanRay and for a couple new ultrasound companies that we just added on, which I'll do the ultrasound next time. But I wanted to talk about the C-arms with ScanRay and ScanRay digital X-ray also. And then I brought over Isote. We have the national distribution for Isote MRIs. And we just signed the contract for MinFound CT, which was just FDA approved. And I'll end with that quick review, but then my next program will be on those two products. But what's exciting about ScanRay is a couple things. One, again, the Section 179 will be applicable to this year up to $1 million at 38% of the cost. This machine has quite a few advantages, especially if people are looking for a used 98, 9900. Even the premier brands of those brands can't compete with this, and this is why. ScanRay is about a third the size of those machines, so it's very small and lightweight. But more importantly, it's the lowest radiation output on the market, even below a Xeum. The price point is under $80,000. If we hit that price point, there's close to an $8,000 to $10,000 commission in it. The other advantage is that the angles of this machine, an OEM 9800 or 9900 is roughly around 28 degrees. We're at 60, so the physician has a better angle. The other major advantage is that we do all of our financing for our products. So we do 0 down, 90-day deferred payments, which is very easy for the doctor to get his reimbursements. And then we can go up to 8 years financing, and our rates are very, very good. Training is included, and the image quality is superior. We have a $2.5 million image storage versus 200 to 400 image storage with a 98, 9900, which is a huge difference.
Marcia, I'm only seeing the screen that shows your name and Expansion Medical. I don't know if you're trying to show it. There you go.
That's the cover, and then here is what it looks like. How's that? Thanks, Michael. I was having a blonde moment. The other advantage is we have all brand new state-of-the-art technology. 99% of the issues that happen with this machine can be done through a modem. I just replaced an older Xeum, for example, and the maintenance people have to physically come out, even on the 98, 9900s, and fix those. And the bill was going to be $8,000, so they just upgraded to this machine, which makes sense. It has a built-in battery pack that the other 98, 9900s don't have. And we keep them in stock. That's the best thing. That's why I went with Image Pro. They have a huge warehouse. They do their own warranty work and delivery. We keep all of this equipment in stock. We will be having the Sote equipment in stock also. So if you order it, we can do immediate delivery versus a 3 to 4 month wait usually for a lot of this out of the country equipment. So that is the C-arm. So it has a lot of advantages, but the biggest advantage is that we include a 5-year warranty in that price. And so the advantage to that, and the biggest selling point is that when you have inclusive warranty and delivery and training, you can write that whole price off under a Section 179. So it's like getting a 38% discount on your year 2 through 5 warranty, which is a huge advantage. So doctors love it. And as you can see by the picture, it's very nicely designed. And this slide has all the advantages on it for you to follow. So that's it. So my next thing I wanted to talk about is the Sote brand of MRI. And pretty much these are the advantages that I wanted to go over. If a physician is referring out 50 or more MRIs, that's pretty much our break even. We target orthopedic pain management, surgical centers, and chiro in combination with ortho or pain management are our targets. The revenue on a lower level on a physician is around $700,000 net. That's after the lease payment, after the personnel rent, and any build outs that they would have to do. We can finance their build outs also. So it's very high revenue. Again, the Section 179 would apply to this machine. They would get 38% off net. But the biggest advantage is that these machines are so small now, and the technology is so superior to other MRIs. The image quality of this machine is equivalent to a 1.5 Tesla. But the other advantage is that we go vertical. When you are doing pain management in ortho, and I'll get into the slides in a moment, there's a lot of advantages when you go vertical. For the patients, we can do comparative vertical horizontal images, and it makes a huge advantage on the scans. The other advantage is the software that this machine has. It does a software report that it looks at shift of body weight, disc movement, bone movement, tissue movement, and fluid movement, and it does a comparative on vertical horizontal. And when you have a report like that and you're trying to prove a personal injury case or workman comp, or if you're planning for surgery or injections, it gives you a really precise area of where this where the injury is. We also go horizontal. As you can see, it's an open system. Patients love it. It can take up to a 440-pound patient. The other advantage is we can do head concussion screening. We're primarily a musculoskeletal MRI system, but we can do screening for concussion. Our Magnifico that we just launched can actually, after Q1, we'll have the software to do brain injury and concussion also. The machine comes with all of the coils that you would need for shoulder and arms and hips and foot. But here's what I was talking about with the scans. If you look at the vertical versus the horizontal, these are the same scan positions, but you can see precisely the difference because of the weight bearing that you would not see if you were just horizontal. That's really the huge advantage. From a cost to run standpoint, nobody can beat us, and this is why. We run on a 220 amp, on 1.5, and a 3T runs on a 440. Their electrical expense will be about on average, between $3,000 and $4,000 on average a month. Ours is $300 because we run on regular electricity ampage. We don't need all that ampage because we're so much smaller. The other advantage is that we don't need helium. This machine is a fixed MRI system. We're smaller. We don't eradicate that much heat, so we don't need to have a cooling system. The other MRIs are running between $3,000 and $4,000 a month in helium cost. So right there, that's a $6,000 minimum savings just on running costs with us. An average lease is about $13,000, which is really easy to have a break even. If they're doing personal injury, they get reimbursed between $600 and $3,000 on average per personal injury. MRIs, Medicare is reimbursing around $275. And regular insurance is about $550 to $575 for commercial insurance. So it's easy to break even. Most physicians that are two-person practice or more are referring out 80 to 100 MRIs. If they're at that rate, they're going to make around $3 million net revenue. And the other thing too is when I sell these, we're a one-stop shop. As I mentioned, we do 0 down, 90-day deferred payment. We do all the financing. We provide them with their marketing materials for their marketing staff, their website templates. We also help them with their CAD/CAM design. We put them together with their construction people to do build out. But this machine has, I wanted to show you, this machine has self-shielding right here. They can buy the shielding. It's around $100,000. It's a snap-on shielding system. So a normal build out will be about $250,000. We're coming in at around 100, and you could put wallpaper on it, decorate it any way you want. It just snaps in. Most of these physicians that buy these machines have to do a build out on floor reinforcement only. So it's very simple build out. Snap in, and as you can see right here is your area for your controls in your computer. So it's a really easy system to, no, Henry, sorry about that, it's not me growling, it's Henry. It's a real easy system to sell. The break evens is magnificent. And both of those units with the C-arm, same thing, the reimbursements on that are really high. Most of the physicians that I sell those to are seeing 20 to 40 patients a day on a C-arm. So it's a really high revenue. And the other area to look at, getting back to the C-arms real quick in my overview, a lot of these doctors are renting these C-arms for around $3,500 plus a month. Our payments are around $1,300. So it's like a no-brainer to have a C-arm in your office. I also have other options with C-arms. I've got the portable units, the Super Cs that are 16 pounds. I sell those also. We've got distribution for that. And but getting back to MRIs, the other thing that Isote has is that O-scan, which I'm not reviewing today, but if you have podiatry and hand and arm shoulder surgeons, it's a plug-in system. It's under $400,000. It has exactly the same reimbursement as a regular MRI. The break even on that is like 10 MRIs. So you don't have to do any build out. You just roll it in, plug it in, and off you go. You don't need any shielding. 90% of the time, you don't need any shielding on that product. So anyone that's looking to make excellent revenue from a commission standpoint, the full price G-scan will net out between $35,000 and $50,000 on commission. And like I mentioned, the C-arm is between $5,000 and $10,000, depending on where we price point it. I'm pretty much looking for you to just pitch it as a revenue option, set up a call with me. I pretty much do all the sales portion of it, which makes it very easy. Of course, I would include you on the call. And we have a lot of features and benefits. Doctors that are, not many say no. If I can get in, usually most of them will agree that this is a great option to add to their practice. So thank you.
So who's buying these things? You mentioned ortho pain management. What about in the primary care realm? Are you seeing any?
Yeah, last year I closed one with in York, Pennsylvania. It's a combination clinic. They're usually combinations: family practice, chiro, pain management, ortho. In Texas, it was actually a combination of pediatric ortho, and pain management. Bought one. So usually with the combination of practices, it'll be a good target. But really the no-brainer is ortho, pain management, surgical centers, and diagnostic centers. And this is really an important point. If a diagnostic center is delaying appointments by 2 or 3 days, they need another unit. So they're bottlenecked because they have too many patients coming in. The O scan is a great option for a diagnostic center because of the price point, B, they only need a 10 by 10 room. We only need a 16 by 20 on a G scan, which is very small. But the O scan, you can just roll in, especially for hospitals, surgical centers, diagnostic centers that are backlogged. They roll it in because probably 50% of all scans are shoulder, elbow, wrist, hand, knee, ankle, foot, and an O scan is extremity.
Got it. Okay, so if I'm a sales rep, how am I approaching somebody about this? If you're not an equipment expert, you said you're just looking for basically a warm introduction. How do you even approach the subject with your clients?
With a G scan, the question is, are they looking to bring in revenue? Number one. And the next question is, are you sending any MRIs out as a referral? If it's yes, how many per month are you sending out? If they're sending out 50 or more, this is perfect for them. The other point is it doesn't have to go in their office. If they say, oh, I don't have room, all my rooms are taken. We just, again, that one clinic in York, Pennsylvania, they put it into a freestanding mall. They rented a little
Really?
space.
Wow.
Yep, and they did a diagnostic center. They put their C-arm there, their MRI, X-ray, everything's right in that mall area.
I was
So
going to ask, like, I was always curious about this with, back when I carried a bag, some of these practices that we go into, I don't think they could meet the threshold in terms of a break even, but there's like 8 doctors in the building, all with their own practice. I'm almost like, why don't you guys just pool your resources and put one in the building?
they can do that. You can buy as a group, but you have to give up. They have to talk to their attorney, of course, but they have to give out their profit based on the percentage of ownership. The same thing with attorneys, personal injury attorneys can also own this also with a practice, but again, they have to break their profit based on percentage of ownership. But Michael, you'd be surprised, most doctors meet that threshold. They do.
Really?
And podiatrists, if they're, like I said, if they're sending out like 20 a month, that they're going to be profitable with it. And the reason why too is they're only counting the ones that they send out. The second and the third MRI follow-up, they're not counting. So if they're sending out 50 a month, they're actually giving away 100 to 150 scans a month.
Wow. Okay, well, can you pull up your contact information again?
Yep. But those are the questions. How many MRIs are you seeing? And if they're doing injections, pain injections, in an office or a surgical center, how old is your equipment? And the biggest advantage is radiation output. This machine is significantly lower. And if they want it, because think of it, even though they're wearing the aprons for their thyroid and chest, they're still eradicating their arms, legs, heads, and inclusive of their staff because those rooms are not leaded. So it's a huge advantage. Same thing with the MRI. The radiation from the MRI is significantly lower. But let me just mention really quick. The next time I come on, I'm going to talk about MinFound CT. We just launched the 128 slice CT. And again, it's about a third smaller than a regular CT. Radiation is significantly lower. It has all the bells and whistles. We're coming out extremely competitive on pricing on it. We're priced pretty close to what a used CT would be, but with brand new technology and software. So we're being aggressive because we just launched it into the United States from MinFound. We're going to have the larger slices coming out after the first of the year. And we're able to do all the install and warranty work through Image Pro's got that contract with them. And then they provide it also. So we're going to be, again, a one-stop shop, 0 down, 90-day deferred. So if anybody's looking for CT, that's an excellent thing to sell to. And it fits in the offices, small.
Great. Well, I just like knowing I got a place to go if I can just memorize some of the talking points and get them pique their interest a little bit and hand it off to you, Marcia. I know you're really good at closing this equipment. So be a good person to partner with if anybody has any clients who might be in need of any of this equipment. Just talk to Marcia. You have her contact information up there, And I think we're going to have you back on, Marcia, next month, did we say, to
Yep.
talk about CT scans. So
And I just
yeah,
want
this is great. Perfect time of year.
and I want to mention really quick, if people have a book of business that have been selling MRIs and CT, we can go on a draw-based salary now too.
Wow.
Yeah, so if they're, if they have a book, we can be a little bit flexible on a draw.
Great. Well, your clients are looking for this stuff, guys. So they are right now, I guarantee you, I've been in this business a long time. If my equipment sales in the past, probably 50% of equipment sales have come during Q4. This is the planning time. This is when people are making their budgets for 2023 and looking at all the tax incentives and everything. So
And one last
mhm,
point, Michael.
sure.
So I just sold 4 C-arms myself, just making phone calls in the last 2 weeks. And
Wow.
this is how fast we are. We send it out, the contract on DocuSign, they sign it. It's all we need is a social security number. That's it. We don't even need a financial application. And so if it's signed by Friday, we will have it installed by Wednesday, usually.
Wow. Okay. Fast commission. Everybody likes that.
Yeah, and you're paid by Wednesday. As soon as it's installed and the doctor calls off for approval of install, we wire the money.
Excellent. Well, Marcia, I'm going to.
C-arms are the fastest. C-arms and digital X-ray ultrasounds we have on stock, and we can get it out within really 2 to 3 days of approval.
Great. Marcia, thank you so much for jumping on.
Thanks so much, you guys. Enjoy your day.